we are going to be creating this watercolor with different values of blue and with the help of black paint and some street creatures and a couple other things we're going to be using today. So for our supplies today, we're going to need our white paper. We're going to need a pencil. We're going to need these watercolors, our paintbrush and our cup ready to go. Let me get some water in there. We're definitely going to need a ruler. You can use either this regular ruler or you can use your paper one, doesn't matter. You are also have a piece of paper right here, and we're going to practice our values on this paper. We are also going to use the big ring ruler to help us out today, doing a circumference of a circle. And some sea critters that you guys can either cut out or just copy and draw on there. All right, so we are going to get started first with our values. And our values we're going to practice first because we're going to create different parts of the ocean. So the sunny zone is a very light blue. Then we have a twilight zone, a dark zone, the abyss, and then a trench, like the super deep. So the first thing we're going to end up doing is grabbing our ruler. Now this paper is 10 inches long, and I need to do 5 sections. So I know 10 divided by 5 is 2. So I'm going to divide my paper into 2s. Now let's see. I also have my neatness mat down, so if you guys want to go ahead and grab your neatness mat. So every 2 inches I'm going to mark it. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. And I'm not going to draw a little tag mark because this is just our practice sheet. It would be kind of fun to actually do the different animals in this section. You know, different animals, sea creatures live in different depths of the sea. Like you guys know, like down here would be that bug with that fish with the light on its head. You know, that real scary looking one, like the big trench would be really dark in there. And the light one would be like the cute little fish like Nemo. Okay, so I have this ready. And I showed you guys before, so we just wet our paintbrush. Always knock off some water on the side cup. I'm going to wet my paper first right there. Now, sometimes I like to start dark and then go lighter because that makes it a little easier because I know, oh, okay, I got to get lighter from there. So let's do that. Let's start with our trench first, the deepest part. Now, looking at this, I go, there's no way a trench. A trench is really something that's very dark. So I'm going to fill in 3 of these first with blue to help me out. I'm going to try to start from the bottom and work my way up. See, and I can see that's like, it's going to be really light up here, right? So see how I notice I'm getting here darker, darker. But see, I can't make this so dark like a trench. That's dark. And then say if I go like this and I drag too much up there and I go, oh no, I need to fix that. So I can grab a paper towel and I can blot it to make it really nice and light. See how I did that? And then now I'm like, oh, nope, I need to make it a little darker. So I go in there with a little water and I drag some paint around. I'm going to keep this one pretty light. Oh, I made it too dark again. Guess what? Blot it again. Okay, so now I really need to make that dark, and I'm having a hard time. Now, I could grab a little bit of purple, that helps, or a little bit of brown. But you know what really does help is the color black. So let's go ahead. Now remember not to drag your hand in the on the paper, because what happens is that you drag your paint everywhere. So you always want to keep your hand up. All right, there we go. My trench is looking more like a trench, like very scary, deep down darkness, where all those scary animals live. Not many animals live in the trench, that's for sure. Whales sometimes dive all the way down into the abyss area where it's pretty dark. This one's like the dark zone, which to me, I don't know, that doesn't look too dark for me. I'm going to darken that a little bit. All right, so to me, I think I did a pretty good variation. Now my blue might maybe be a little too light, so let me try to kind of really water down some blue. There, that's more like Cancun water. Okay, so I feel like I've done a pretty good job on making my values from pretty dark to not as dark, dark, light, and a really light. Like that's a light one. And And so that's what we're going to work on in our drawing. So that's why we wanted to practice that. Okay. So we're going to set this aside. And of course, I got to clean up my area because I don't want to put my paper down until my area is nice and clean. All right. And everybody has their artist tape too. So if you don't have it, go ahead and grab it. I'm going to put my paper down onto my beautiful dry neatness mat. And I'm going to tape down my paper onto my neatness mat. There's one. Sometimes I put tape against my clothing before I tape it down so it's not so sticky. Now I know you guys have to share tape, so you guys can go ahead and pause the video if you need to, and then everybody get their borders taped and come back and meet me in just a second. And I'm taping my neatness, my paper down to my neatness mat. And that's like I always tell you guys, it's so it doesn't wiggle around, right, when I'm painting or drawing or. And then also, if we finish we finish or don't finish in time when the bell rings or when we're leaving our program, well then we can stack it on top of each other. All right, there is my last corner. All right, here we go. So this is the tricky part too. I don't know about you guys, but I have a really hard time drawing really light with my pencil. I draw dark. When I write, dark. I'm pushing down. So for me, it's a challenge to do it light. I don't know about you all. I'm going to make different little areas, kind of like how we created that with my values. You know, I made those lines. So I'm going to make really light lines. See, the bad thing about watercolor is that once you paint over that, like that line, I can never erase that pencil mark. So that's why we want to go really extra light with this part right now, because you won't be able to erase it and you'll see it through your watercolor. So I am going to set my ruler to 3.5. So that's 3.5, and I'm going to snap it into place. That's the size of my middle. That's my sunny zone. So I'm going to, now this painting is as if we were under the water, kind of looking up. Now I did that light, but I think I could even go lighter if I just erase a little bit. So that way it's not so heavy on my paper. See, I told you I can't do it light. It's hard for me. So I'm going to erase it so it just barely shows. Barely showing on there. Okay, I have an idea where it is. The next circle I'm going to go out, I'm going to do 4.25. 425. Let's see if that is, actually, you know what? Nope. I'm going to go bigger than that. I'm going to go 4.5, which is 4.5. And I'm going to lay it gently. These orange ones pop out sometimes. And I'm going to do really gentle again. Very gentle. I'm barely holding my pencil because I just tell you. There, I'm going to erase it so I can see it just a little bit. There we go. And then my next one, I'm just going to do one more. And I'm going to do it actually at, I believe it's at 6 inches. Yep, there we go, 6 inches. So you set your ruler, your ring ruler, to 6 inches. And again, hardest part for me, go light. See, okay, kind of did it. It's hard. I struggle. The struggle is real. Here we go. Erasing my lines so you can't see them. But I can see them. All right, so again, I'm going to start in my darkest areas, which are out here, because this is, I'm going to show you guys the painting right here. So we're going to start out dark here. And notice how this side I made darker and kind of had some fun with the watercolor. So we can do that too, create like almost like a wave. So I'm going to start by wetting my paper just a little bit, not too much. And if I need to, I will use my paper towel, right? For blotting to make it lighter, clean up. Okay, I'm going to wet my blue. And another thing too to always think about is using this side tray as a palette. Palettes are for artists to mix their colors in. So sometimes if you ever need to mix colors before you put it down is a good way to test it too. See, like that's too light, right? But that's okay. I'm gonna, I'm going to slowly work in that paint. Now see how this is, you can tell it's dry. And I can tell because you can see my paintbrush stroke. So that told me I needed to put water down. We don't want dry paintings. This painting is about moving the watercolor around. Because guess what's the ocean made of? It's water, right? So let's do that. Okay, we're moving this water around. It's a lot of fun. Because you can be really playful and just loose. See how I'm going in a circular motion around the center? I'm trying to keep this area really white until I'm ready to work on it. Now I have a feeling, see, you see my paintbrush? Guess what? I gotta wet my paper again. I have a friend who paints with watercolor, and she does detail that everything looks realistic. I do not have that ability. So I should show you guys a painting of hers. That's amazing. She's actually here in town, and that woman, she can paint with watercolor so well. Oh, see, I always really like how watercolor bleeds. See that bleeding? I think it's fun. I think that just adds something more to watercolor. I don't know about you guys. Like, it's really playful. Shows motion. All right. I'm going to try to save that there. And then I'm going to put water here. Now see if I go like this and I go, oh, that's supposed to stay light. Oh, miss, I totally messed up. Right? You're going to be like, no, miss, I messed up. Grab your paper towel. Boom. Light again. Isn't that nice? You can recover. See, I can tell it's dry, so I got to wet it. And it's okay. Your paper's going to get a little floppy, and that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and start adding black now. And, man, this black is fun. So I'm going to kind of wet it. Maybe one side I want with like a little bit of purple in there or something, just to make it like really dark this. So I'm mixing the two into this. Anybody watch the new Little Mermaid? No? Are you guys too old for that? Don't be lying. I know you guys did. I thought it was cool. Like kind of like Caribbean style. Definitely not like the original. Ooh-wee. So now I'm just going in circles, being very gentle with my paintbrush. I don't like that line. So guess what? I'm just going to erase it with some color. And then I'm going to go like this. And I think my painting needs a little more fun. Now this is my favorite part because you know what? You just get to sit back, relax, and let this dry before we move on to the next stage. See, I'm adding some lines for fun. Uh-oh, email came in. All right. That side's darker than the other. And if you guys do have like some salt around, or there's a salt in a lesson, but salt's always fun to add to some paintings like this because it adds like crystals. And let me see if I have. Oh, I don't have any. All right, we're going to come back and after this dries, and I'll show you our next step. Okay, now that our painting is dry, we are going to, I should have washed that. Take off our artist tape very gently. Sometimes I snag the paper when I do it. It gets the paper pulled up, but this is doing pretty good right now. There we go. Get that pulled all the way up. Oh, see that one pulled paper, but that's okay. That's all right. All right, so it looks pretty good. It looks a little floppy, but that's normal for watercolor. Now you can use either glue, glue stick, or little Elmer's. You have a little template with your sea critters. I cut out this one, and see how I didn't cut it out all the way? Like I cut out like some of that, the white paper of it. So I'm going to go ahead and color that black. And then I'm going to glue it on there. I really wish I had a hammerhead shark on there because I like hammerheads. So you know what I'm going to try to do with this one? See if it works. I'm going to try to draw a hammerhead on him. Let's see if I can do that in just a second. Let me let that dry. See, maybe a glue stick's better. So I did cut out the turtle too. I like the little turtle guy, and I didn't want to draw him. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue that turtle on there. Now, there was a jellyfish, and I think I can draw a jellyfish. So I'm going to draw a little circle. Yeah, little tentacles. You know, some jellyfish are really weird. They have like things hanging from them, and I wish I had a little fine marker, but I don't. If you guys have like fine markers, maybe you guys can do that with that one. So there's my jellyfish. There's got to be a better way to draw it. I bet you guys know how to draw better jellyfish than I do. Like he's got tentacles falling off of him. Okay, I better stop where I'm at. So this guy, I'm going to try to change him into a hammerhead. Oh yeah. Those are the weirdest guys ever. I don't know about you guys, but hammerheads scare me. Alright, I think that kind of looks like a hammerhead. Más o menos. And then there's like this little fish. I think I can draw a fish. Like that. I think I can repeat that. Just kind of fill it in like that. Does it look like another jellyfish? No, it's not. Here's my fish. Maybe I need to make him a little longer. I don't know. There we go. Alright, and so I could cut out like the dolphin or the other shark. Or I could draw in another shark next to this one. Like maybe I can draw a hammerhead. I don't know. Let's see. They kind of have those weird bodies, right? Always, let me swing them the other way, because maybe he's coming from a different direction. And they have that weird tail. And then they have those pointy fins because they're mean. Just kidding. They're just living their life. They're just living their life. They don't want to bite my toes off. Okay. He's got some weird growth there. That's what he gets. Okay. Wow, that's a strong looking hammerhead. He could wipe us out. Okay. So, and then I'm also done with my painting, so I want to sign my name. 23. Oh, look at that. And there, I could add more jellyfish if I want to. Maybe little jellyfish babies. Oh, so cute. Do jellyfish hang out with their parents? Nah. But you know, this one does. Okay. So then we're all done. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this one.